Glad? Yes, I am. Stay tuned for the key to a Saran Wrap six-pack. Alright, so today's video is actually inspired by this dude I saw in the locker room wrapping his belly with Saran Wrap before he went out and did cardio in an attempt to lose belly fat. And you'll see that there's deviations of this online where people will put Vicks Vapor Rub or other things underneath the Saran Wrap to help with sort of heat loss and increased sweating, things like that. So I wanted to see what the science says, so I did some research. And the logic behind this, right, is that by wrapping the area, you are increasing the amount of heat, therefore increasing the amount you sweat. Tells your body that it's too hot, so you sweat to cool it down so that you'll lose fat through that process somehow. Of course, this isn't real. So what does the science say? That really Saran Wrap does increase the heat and creates a humid environment. So we sweat and we lose water weight. You will lose weight, but water weight. As soon as you go to the water fountain and you replace what you just lost, there is all of your hard work and the money spent on that Saran Wrap. So in the short term, yes, it can help you lose weight, but it's not going to be long term. And you're not losing fat, you're losing water.
Water sucks. Gatorade is better.
Fat itself, why is it in our midsection? Just want to talk about that a little bit. Fat is distributed based on hormones and genetics. And losing fat is as simple as math. If you can do math, you can lose weight. Yeah, take that, weight loss. It is simple as calories in versus calories out. If you're expending more calories than you're taking in, you're gonna lose weight. It's just how it goes. Unless you have some sort of endocrine disorder or pituitary disorder. I mean, really, the majority of us, it's as simple as math. Something that ties into this belly fat around the midsection is this idea of an apple shape versus a pear shaped person. So apple being a lot of fat around the midsection and pear being lower down. Think of the pear. And this ties into what's called metabolic syndrome. What is metabolic syndrome? It is a 5-metric constellation of things about you that can indicate an increased risk of heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. So what are these 5 things? It is an increased fasting glucose. It is a high blood pressure. It is also high triglycerides in your blood, so free fatty acids, things like that. Low HDL, so HDL is the good cholesterol. And then also an increased waist circumference. So these are the 5 things that tie into increased risk factors for heart disease, diabetes, stroke, okay? Some other things as well. So what is waist circumference? What do we measure? So you're gonna find the top of your hips here, and you're gonna measure around here after a relaxing exhale. Okay? And what we're looking for is a risk factor would be greater than 40 inches for men, or if you're a woman, greater than 35 inches. This idea of spot reduction of fat is sort of misguided, right? You can't just lose fat here or here or here unless you get liposuction. So instead of Saran Wrap, why don't we just all get liposuction, and that will help us prevent from getting metabolic syndrome? Well, an interesting study about liposuction found that there was actually no improved metabolic outcomes after someone had liposuction. So this is from the subcutaneous fat. So you have a layer of skin, and then just beneath that is subcutaneous fat. That it did not improve outcomes. And another research study that they did looked at visceral fat removal. So they go in and they remove what's called the omentum, which is sort of this layer of fat in and amongst your small and large bowel. And that both this surgery and the subcutaneous fat removal did not actually improve any metabolic functions. So what we see is that it's not that you lose the fat, it's how you lose the fat. A balanced diet, working on a caloric deficit, and plenty of exercise. All of these things tie into making your whole body healthier. Your heart gets stronger. You reduce fat in your skeletal muscle, in your liver, and your visceral organs. You help yourself in more ways than just losing fat. It's how you lose it and how you lead your life that really matters. All right, guys, so save the Saran wrap for your leftovers, not your workouts. Thanks for tuning in.